Dangers in My Heart is so fantastic. I cannot express enough. Please go watch the series. I just got done with the 6th episode, and I have to say, this show I just fall in love with it more and more every single episode. It's kind of one of those shows where it starts off with the concept, and then around the 3rd episode point, everything starts to kind of shift, and you get the real narrative here, and it just keeps hitting. Every episode just gets better and better and better. And I was really trying to put my finger on it. I was trying to figure out, why does this work so well? What makes this so impactful? It's presentation and music. Those two things literally take everything another step up. And I think it's one of those rare cases where an adaptation sort of enhances the show, because what do you get whenever you have an adaptation to anime? Yeah, in a lot of cases, it's to crap, let's be honest. But every now and then you get a director and a musician and everybody on point, to the point where it adds so much to it. This is one of those shows where subtlety is the core concept of the relationship of the characters. It's the core concept of the story itself. And when you have a great musician and a director and a team working on it that can literally take those things you get from anime, which is music, voice, sound, motion, all that kind of stuff, and enhance the original story. And they're doing it in spades with the show. Rather than characters thinking about things, rather than characters saying what they're feeling, the music tells you what they're thinking. The music gets you that emotion built up inside of you, and it's doing it so well. And it took me forever. I apologize to all the big fans out there. I'm an idiot. It took me forever to actually look up who's doing the music, because it wasn't really dawning on me at the time. Kinsugi Ushio. For those who don't know who that is the person that did A Silent Voice and Liz and the Bluebird. And yes, both of those, and several other shows, but both of those, I can hear it. I can hear that style. What, in my opinion, I feel that Ushio excels so well at is giving you such a deep and gut-feeling music note. The music's simple, but it's deep. You can hear the deepness of the music. You can hear the chords hitting in the piano. You can hear everything close up, like you're there. And the music hits you in the stomach. And so when you have a very impactful scene where it's obvious that Ichikawa is feeling emotional, the music sweeps up inside of you and makes you feel emotional. So the story is essentially being told to you through your own emotions as you're watching Ichikawa have experiences for the first time with Yamada. It is so beautiful. It is so breathtaking, and I can't get enough of it. Every time these episodes end on these really good notes, I'm just like, I need the next episode. It sort of reminds me of A Place Further in the Universe. That show excelled at the end of every single episode, something emotional happens for the characters, and the music ramps up. And it almost overtakes the characters and the voicing and everything, but it's for a reason, because the music sweeps you up into the moment with them. You're feeling the emotions with them. But I can't say enough. The music is so fantastic. But there's more to the show. Let me get into that. For those that have not watched all 6 episodes, I'm going to get to pretty spoilery here, so keep that in mind. Nothing like insane has happened, I think, that would ruin the show for me to tell you. It's just the simple concept of the romance building between these characters, and that might be spoilers for some people, so I want to get that warning out there. But I do like the fact that the show sort of starts out with this idea that Ichikawa has dark thoughts. It's in the titles, The Dangers in My Heart. It was so funny because I did a podcast with my brother, and he's like, I'm trying to figure out what that point is going to be, and I'm like, I don't think that's the point. It's not that he has these dark thoughts. He does. He has these dark thoughts about doing terrible things. And a lot of it's focused on Yamada, this girl in his class, because she's a model, and he believes that she's looking down on him. So he's like, man, I cannot wait to see what her face looks like when she's dead. But then over time, she keeps showing up at the library, his one place, his one bastion of peace. She keeps showing up there and eating snacks. And he's bugged by this at first. But then you start to see something changes in Ichikawa. He doesn't realize why he's doing it, but every time Yamada gets in a bad situation, he feels the need to get in there and help her. He doesn't know why. I just keep helping this girl. Why do I keep helping her? Every time there's an embarrassing situation for her, I'm making myself embarrassed to draw attention so she doesn't get in trouble, which doesn't make sense to him. But it's cute because this isn't lost by Yamada, seemingly. And that's going to get into my later points. This is not lost by Yamada, and so she's hanging around more and more. And these interactions between the two of them, slowly over time, changes Ichikawa's heart. He's starting to notice, well, why is she here? Well, why did she give me this? Well, why did she show up here? She wasn't coming down here to order something at the menu. She came down here to talk to me. And then I'm buying something that she kind of wanted, but how am I going to give it to her? And now she thinks that I'm just copying her. It's just these cute little interactions between the two of them that's slowly making Ichikawa realize something. But I think the big change in Ichikawa was honestly the point in which Yamada gets injured. That, I believe, was the point in which he finally realizes, I like this girl. I mean, he technically puts it into words. Let's be perfectly honest. It's not me catching something that nobody's going to catch. He literally says it in his mind, I love Yamada. What it is that I think he finally sees her in a vulnerable state, which is funny and counter to what he was thinking at the very beginning. What was he thinking at the beginning? I want to see this girl injured. I want to see her dead. This is my dark desire. And now he's hiding under this bed in the infirmary as she's breaking down in tears because she's going to fail her mother. She's going to fail her manager. She has all these people with expectations on her to be beautiful, to sell magazines and all that kind of stuff. And now her face is ruined. A ball hit her in the face. It's a simple thing. A ball hit somebody in the face. Whoop-de-doo. Most people are like, whatever, I get hit in the face all the time. But this is her selling point. This is what she sells to the magazines. And if it's injured, if it's bruised, if her nose is broken, it ends her career. It ends the expectations that are placed upon her, and that emotion swells up inside of her, and she breaks down. Ichikawa sees several things in the infirmary. One, blood. He sees a whole bunch of blood in a tray on the ground. The thing that he technically desires to see on her. But that's not what catches his attention. He notices it, but doesn't catch his attention. What catches his attention is what she's suffering, and ultimately what she drops. The drawing that he made for her that he was just casually gave to her just to kind of cover up what this pervy guy wanted to give to Yamada. But she kept it. Suddenly, he realizes all these feelings swelling up inside of him is love. And that's what it is. That's the dangers in his heart, is love. It's that feeling that he doesn't know what to do with. And now the big question mark is, will he ever express that love? Does he really love her? And does she have any interest in him? And yes, as a viewer, we're constantly going, yeah, it seems like she likes you because she keeps hanging out with you. She keeps coming to you. And yes, she keeps giving you her scraps, which I'm still wanting to know what that whole thing's about. Yamada has this desire to constantly give Ichikawa her leftovers. And she makes sure to eat as much as possible before she gives it over to him. Bag of chips. Okay, let me finish the rest of it. Here you go. This candy mix thing. Okay, I ate most of it, but here you go. And yes, whenever she gets these little soda pop things from the store, she takes off the cap and gives it to him and drinks the rest of it. I love that he gave her the cap back. It's so cute. I want to know the story behind that. There's got to be a reason there. Which gets me into the thing that I think is the most fascinating thing about the show. Yes, we hear a lot from Ichikawa. His constant struggling, him not knowing what he's feeling. Why does he keep helping her? Why does she keep coming here? Why are we still hanging out with each other? What's Yamada's deal? Why is she so weird? Which is definitely her charm. It's so great that we never get any insight into Yamada herself. Now, I'm curious if we ever will. If we'll get an episode where suddenly it's Yamada's perspective. Or is the intention this entire story to never know what she's thinking on purpose? See, this show, and I would assume the manga as well, excels at telling story through action. You see what Yamada likes and what she's doing through action. She barely speaks. She's speaking more now than she was at the very beginning. She's a lot more vocal now. But at its core, it's through her actions that are, yes, most of the time extremely silly and super cute. But they're actions that you notice. You notice those subtle movements in her, which again, I think is a tribute to the studio and the director. You see those subtle moments that shows that she's expressing something through her actions. And I love how it's doing that because it constantly makes the viewer wonder, does Yamada really like Ichikawa? The assumption is that, but also in the idea that she also herself seems to have insecurities or at least boundaries or fears with Ichikawa. The best point that I can express that there's actually two really good points here. One is going to be at the restaurant. Yes, his sister drags him to the restaurant and he doesn't like to be there because he's afraid that somebody from school is going to see him. And sure enough, in comes Yamada and her friends, but Yamada notices Ichikawa, and Ichikawa goes to the register to get away from the whole situation. And when he's there, he's obviously thinking about, why am I here? I just want to get away from that whole situation. And then Yamada comes walking up. And he really quickly finds out that she's lying. And what she's saying, she's not telling the truth. I believe it's something to do with the restroom and how it wasn't on this floor or something. But again, through actions, you know that she came down there to talk to him. Went out of her way, left her friends, because she wanted to talk to him. And yes, that obviously extends to her visiting the library. The assumption is that she wants to go there to eat snacks, but it's obviously that she's going there for another reason. Even when they get to the point where there's rules and everything put into play and she's going to get in trouble if she's found with the snacks, she still keeps coming there with her snacks. She can go somewhere else. But the other key point that I feel is the moment that she brings the manga to school to give to Ichikawa. She enjoys this manga series and she wants to share it with him. And he sees her out in the front. And he's like, well, was she waiting for somebody? Passes by, and then she stops him. Hey, I got these manga for you, here you go. And then she just blurts out, spoils the whole story for him, which he's like, were those important moments? No, those were like early on, like the first 3 volumes. But like I said before, this is really cute because it's a moment where you see sort of the insecurities of her as well. He's like, okay, well, why are you following me now? Don't you have somebody to wait at the front for? He's assuming that she wasn't waiting there for him. And she sort of goes, oh, yeah, you're right. I should go back over there. You almost see like she's afraid of saying, no, I was there waiting for you. Even her, again, you see that she likes Ichikawa, but at the same time, you see that she has insecurities of vocalizing that. It's really, really cute. Like I said, it's very subtle and I like it. I love how they do it. Because again, everything doesn't have to be spelled out. She doesn't have to vocalize it. You don't have to get her inner dialogue to explain it. You see it. And I love that the fact that most of the beginning section is kind of just Ichikawa helping Yamada without really thinking about it. And he's just doing things and he's like, why am I doing this? And you almost get that sense from Yamada as well, when you have these little moments where you see her noticing that he likes something and trying to help him out. It was the whole case with the whole manga place. When they went to the manga place, Ichikawa obviously wanted to go look at the manga, the Baki manga, and she's like, she notices it and just drags him over there and helps him out, just kind of pushes him in that direction. Or yes, technically when he goes in the restroom and she waits outside for him. You see these little moments where she's obviously trying to help him in some way because he's done so much for her. But obviously, yes, at the very end of episode 6, that's, I think, the point in which things are really, I don't know, maybe hopefully going to be really shifting a lot because that whole last scene was just super emotional. Just him kind of darting out there and stopping her, keeping her from getting caught. She obviously notes it, but she still got her, she still wants to eat her food. So cute. There's so many cute moments in this entire series. I love it. They're throwing the bike down in order to distract them because the guy was being pushy on her. Even though he turns out to be a cool guy, Yamada's goofy, snacky nature just is always super cute. The bottle caps, I absolutely love that. And him giving her the bottle cap and she just kind of goes, mwah, just runs off. It's just really simple, cute, but emotional, impactful, and really, really beautifully portrayed series that I just can't get enough of. And I just cannot wait for more of it. But that's my gushing about Dangers in My Heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment. Let me know what's thought of the series. If you're going to be checking it out. Or did I finally sell you on it? Let me know. But additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button so you get my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks button down below, as well as a membership button. I greatly appreciate everybody that supports the channel. You guys mean so much to me. And I'll take care.